Woof, Diogenes of America here. This is a speech on Project 2025. The chaos is not accidental. It's the playbook. Every so often, truth slips out by accident. This week, Representative Madeleine called the president unhinged and unwell. Speaker Mike Johnson's response? A deflection that revealed everything. But what if the chaos isn't chaos at all? What if what we're seeing is the playbook, a deliberate strategy written long before the storm began? Project 2025, a blueprint for remaking America. Publicly denied, quietly executed, and a gift to our enemies abroad. In the next few minutes, we'll connect the dots between Project 2025, the President's public denials, and the 70% of his cabinet implementing it in plain sight. Because, as Diogenes would remind us, madness often hides method, and method often hides ambition. On September 30th, at Quantico, the president suggested using American cities as training grounds for military operations, language that blurs the line between external defense and internal control. It echoes darker times, when leaders confused protecting the people with commanding them. The man who staged that moment? Peter Hegseth, formerly Secretary of Defense, now officially renamed Secretary of War, after the department itself was rebranded. His mission? To purge what he calls woke weakness, restore a so-called warrior ethos, and reshape the military to reflect one man's vision of strength. If you've read Project 2025, you already know the playbook. Fire the generals, rebuild loyalty, replace dissent with obedience, and yet when asked, the president calls it all ridiculous. In ancient Athens, politicians would swear they had no hand in the schemes of their allies carried out. The trick was always the same: create chaos, deny control, and let the crowd wear itself out. We've simply traded parchment for press releases. Here's what denial looks like in practice. 70% of the president's cabinet-level officials have direct ties to the groups that wrote Project 2025. A few examples. Russell Vought, co-author of Project 2025, now director of the Office of Management and Budget. The president himself praised him as he of Project 2025 fame. J.D. Vance, the vice president whose worldview is indistinguishable from the Heritage Foundation's. John Ratcliffe, CIA director, Project 2025 contributor. Brendan Carr, FCC chair, nominee, featured in Heritage videos promoting Project 2025. Tom Homan, former border czar, tied to the same architects. At least 140 people who worked on Project 2025 served in the previous administration. They didn't vanish, they returned with a manual. This is the strategy. Execute the extreme. Deny the authorship. Reward loyalty with power. Bury ideology beneath bureaucracy. It's not confusion, It's camouflage. The president nominated a Project 2025 contributor to the head of Bureau and Labor Statistics after firing the previous chief over a jobs report he disliked. That's not reform, it's control. And while Americans debate whether this is really happening, our adversaries don't need to attack democracy. They just have to wait, watching as we dismantle it from the inside, pretending it's an accident. When power lies, that's expected. When power pretends it doesn't know it's lying, that's when republics begin to rot. The threads connecting it all, from Quantico to the cabinet room, isn't chaos. It's the pursuit of something ancient, the dream of a unitary executive. In plain terms, it means one man commands the entire executive branch. No checks, no balance, just obedience. Every general, every bureaucrat, every safeguard becomes an extension of his will. Think of a company where the CEO fires anyone who corrects him. That's not leadership, it's fragility wearing a mask of control. Project 2025 spells it out. Purge the civil service, replace them with loyalties, politicize justice, defense, and intelligence. Hegseth's warrior ethos isn't reform, it's rehearsal. Why it matters. And this matters because when the military becomes political, history never ends well. It's not only democracy that breaks, it's a soldier's consciousness that bends. Once kings claimed divine right, now politicians claim divine efficiency. Different crowns, same delusion. That one man can bear the weight of a nation's will. When a leader jokes about using the military on his own people, and his team builds the legal structure to make it possible, we're not debating in policy anymore. We're witnessing the quiet architecture of authoritarianism. And abroad, our adversaries don't have to defeat America, they simply have to let us believe we're still winning. As someone training for Ironman 70.3, I've learned the strength isn't domination, it's discipline. Endurance demands integrity, repetition, and respect for limits. Democracy is no different. When our leaders trade the structure of the Constitution for the speed of unchecked power, we lose the endurance that sustains liberty. Diogenes once said he searched for an honest man by lantern light. Today, I carry my own torch through the digital marketplace of madness, still searching. Do you see the rise of the Unitary Executive as a greater threat to America than foreign aggression? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And always keep your lantern lit. The great modern American cynic, Diogenes of America, out.